And this is my review for Transformers Powercore Combiner's Searchlight with Backwind Minicon. You can, if you want, call Backwind Backwind, if you want to be vulgar, but in this review I'm going to be referring to him as Backwind, seeing as I think that's a much nicer name, and I think that's how they intended it to be pronounced anyway. But anyway, we'll go ahead and focus on Backwind for a few minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I did with Caliburst in my Powercore Combiner's Huffer review. I'm going to take him to his two modes that are compatible with vehicle mode. We'll start off with his robot mode, and I really, really like this guy's robot mode. I think he might be my favorite Powercore Combiner Minicon, at least in robot mode. I really, really like this guy's robot mode. I like its proportions. I know a lot of people complain that it looks too ape-like, but I think that's really, really cool. Very, very nice little face on this guy. I really, really like this guy's face. I think it's cool. It's not really coming out too well on camera, but it is actually a fairly nice face on this guy. It's really, really cool. He also almost looks like a Green Lantern construct, as many people have pointed out, except for the yellow. I guess you could, if you really wanted to, take off the yellow and have it be like a Green Lantern power construct, which I think is kind of neat. He does have a machine gun end on this arm, which I think is kind of neat. You can kind of see it does have a machine gun detailed right here. He does have two hooks on both arms. So very, very cool little vehicle mode on this guy, or robot mode, sorry. Very cool little robot mode on this guy. I really, really like this guy's robot mode. But his vehicle mode is kind of so-so. Basically what you do is you take his legs, you bend them in half, like so. And then just squeeze them together as far as they'll go. Then what you want to do is you want to take his arms, you want to bend them about halfway. Then that's basically it. This is supposed to be like a Searchlight type of mechanism, but I just think it looks like crap. I think it looks absolutely awful. I think it's bad. It doesn't look too bad. You can combine them with Searchlight and vehicle mode. What you do is you take a little port right here, a little post on Searchlight on the front, and you can attach it to his helicopter, and it doesn't look too bad. And you can extend the claws and have them search around for stuff, but really, I just don't think they were trying very hard when they tried to make a vehicle compatible mode for this guy, because I think this is just a very crappy little vehicle mode. Even worse than Caliburst, although Caliburst I think had a pretty decent one, but this guy's just utter crap when it comes to his vehicle mode. Like I said, I do really like his robot mode, but his vehicle mode is definitely the weakest of the four modes. Anyway, we'll go ahead and focus on Searchlight now. Very, very cool little helicopter mode. I really, really like this guy's helicopter mode. It's obviously based on the rescue helicopters that they fly into real big disasters, like in Katrina, or the floods in Pakistan or whatnot. It's a very, very cool little helicopter. Actually, I have seen one of these in real life, so having one that represents one of these helicopters I think is really, really cool. I really, really like Transformers that have vehicle modes based on things that I've seen in my life. But anyway, very, very cool. Not much to say about in terms of features. It does have these propellers right here, which you can flick. You can, if you want, interchange them. You can just pop them off very, very easily. You can have the smaller rotor be at the back and the large rotor be at the front. It's all up to you. I personally like to have the front rotor, or the smaller rotor in the front, and the bigger rotor in the back, and I think that looks cool. They do both spin very, very nicely, which I think is cool. And going to robot mode, it's like with most Powercore Combiners, it's not a very hard transformation. Basically what you want to do, is I find it easier to go ahead and flip these things out. Makes everything a little bit easier. Then what you want to do, you just want to go to the back. You want to split them. I should point out also that the Powercore pegs actually look very, very natural on this guy. They still kind of are a little bit blaring, but it doesn't look nearly as bad on some of these figures. I think putting them on these dark blue posts was a really, really wise decision. I think it looks very, very cool, and it really looks like these Powercore pegs are actually integrated into all the modes, which I think is cool. But anyway, back to transformation. What you want to do is you want to split this back. Then you want to raise this arm up, like so. Then what you want to do is you want to go to the front. You want to split the whole front assembly. Then you want to tug on this until it untabs from this peg right here. Then you want to do the same. Lift it off to the side. Then what you want to do is you want to take these pieces. You want to untab them from the back of the helicopter. Then you want to rotate them up. go ahead and flip these down. You can leave them down if you want, but it does look a little bit weird and it gets in the way of his arms. So I usually go ahead and flip them up. Do the same on this side. Flip those up. Flip these down. Then what you want to do is you want to rotate this whole assembly up and around. Then you want to flip out his feet. Do the same on this side. Flip up his feet. Then with these skirt pieces, you can do whatever you want with them. You can, if you want, reconnect them, but it does kind of inhibit his leg motion. So I usually leave them splayed out to the side, kind of like a kilt. They have Searchlight in robot mode, and like with Backwind, I really like this guy's robot mode. It does have similar proportions to Backwind. As you can see, they both have very bulky arms and legs, but a very cool little robot mode. I think it's really neat. I do really like his face sculpt as well. It's very cool. It kind of almost looks like they stopped painting it midway through, but I'm really kind of glad that they didn't paint the whole face, because I think the look of him with this bright blue and this silver just looks really awesome. And I think the silver is placed in really nice places. I really like this guy's face sculpt. It does have very nice light piping, and we'll try to show that off. It does have some very nice light piping. You can't really see it, but it does have some very cool looking light piping. So very cool. For posability, you get a lot on this guy. His head is on a very free ball joint. You can even tilt it all the way up if you want to resemble flying poses, which I think is neat. He does have a hinge here just due to transformation. His shoulders are on ball joints. These pieces do rotate kind of freely. I wish that they had maybe found a way to tab them in or something, but it's not too bad. And it's really just fixable by holding the arm in place, or holding this section in place when you move the arm. So not too much of an issue. I know it bothers a lot of people, but it doesn't bother me too much. Like I was saying, ball jointed shoulders, a hinge right here just due to transformation, ball jointed elbows, no wrist articulation, but not too bad. His hips do go in and out. They go forward and back. He bends at the knee. Sadly, like with a lot of these Powercore Combiners, the knee joints are set really low on the legs, so it looks a little bit awkward, but oh well. He does have a mid-thigh swivel. His feet go up and down just due to transformation, so you can get a lot of nice poses out of this guy, which I think is really cool. And now for Backwind's weapon mode. Now the official instructions have you basically just lay him out flat and extend the arm with the machine gun port on it. But what I usually do is I usually just flip his legs in half. Then I kind of take this other arm and wrap it around, so it kind of looks like he has a gun that's kind of intermingling with his arm, which I think is kind of neat. And you can just place it in his arm. And you know, I mean, it's definitely, it can be a little bit difficult. Let me work with it a bit. Nah, it is kind of difficult. Come on. There we go. So basically what I do is I usually put him in almost his vehicle mode, compatible mode, and then I just flip this machine gun around and then tab it in, and I think that looks a lot better. It doesn't look so good from the side, but really it's not going to look good from the side no matter which way you put it, but I think it's a pretty decent little gun mode. I definitely think that they could have done it better, certainly, but it doesn't look too bad to me. I really like it that way. Again, there is an official transformation, but I usually don't do that, seeing as I think it just makes him look like he's holding a big brick with a little machine gun arm out to the side. But, oh well. And now on to his Powercore Combiner Commander mode. What you want to do, go ahead and take off Backwind. We'll go ahead and put him in his Powercore Combiner Commander mode. What you want to do is you want to flip up his legs like so. And like so. I haven't really put this guy in commander mode in a while, so if I forget something, I'll just post in the comments, and maybe I'll do an update. And then just fold these up, like so. And there you have him in his Powercore Armor mode, which is pretty neat. It does have some molded detailing right here, so it doesn't look too bad. And now to get Searchlight himself into Powercore mode, what you want to do is you want to rotate the legs off to the side, and then flip up his feet all the way, and then you want to rotate this around, like so. Rotate it around, and then flip it up, like so. Then what you want to do is you want to flip this whole assembly down. You want to flip out these flaps, Then what you want to do is you want to take Searchlight's head. You want to rotate it around, and it's on this spring-loaded assembly. So if you pull it back, I'm going to flip up his Powercore Combiner mode head. And I think this is a fairly cool little head sculpt. It's kind of animated looking. It looks a little bit out of place in the Powercore Combiner line, but I think it's a pretty neat little head sculpt. I think it's fairly neat. But anyway, then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and flip that up. Actually, then what you want to do is you want to flip these arms all the way up, like so. And like so. And you can, if you want, and you can do this in robot mode as well, you can take these propeller blades off. I usually like to put them and keep them on. I think they look a lot better without them. But it is all up to personal preference. And then for the arms, what you want to do is you want to flip these pieces out, like so. And like so. And again, I don't have any limbs to combine them with, which is a bit of a shame. I would like to show that off. I am planning to pick up a couple of limb sets, seeing as they finally have gone on clearance in my area, what with the Dark of the Moon line being released. But a fairly cool little torso mode, and I think it's kind of neat. And you can, if you want, flip out the Minicon port on his chest. You can put the armor on. I'm not going to do it here, but you can do that if you want. I'll go ahead and put him back in his robot mode, or regular robot mode. Now flip that up, flip these up, flip that around, like so, and then just get them to stand. So overall, yeah, really cool little figure. For some brief size comparisons, first off, here he is next to Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee. So you can see he's between a deluxe and an average scout. I think he's about an average Revenge of the Fallen scout size. So pretty cool little size, guys. I really like their scale. And I only have Huffer in robot mode to compare him with. When I do Smolder, I will compare this guy with Smolder as well. But here he is next to Powercore Combiner's Huffer. So very cool. I definitely think Huffer of the first wave of Powercore Combiners is definitely the strongest figure of the wave. But admittedly, I am biased, seeing as I do like Huffer's original G1 character, so maybe that's the reason I like him so much. But I do think he's a fairly strong figure. But overall, yeah, this guy's a really cool little figure. Backwind, or whatever you want to call him, he's a pretty strong little figure too. He definitely has his strong points. He definitely has his weak points. I don't think that they gave us a Minicon that was just overall perfect in the Powercore Combiners line. But still a fairly neat little set, and I definitely highly recommend you pick it up. It is going on clearance, so it shouldn't be too expensive these days. So yeah, definitely pick it up. Very cool little set, and definitely worth hunting down. So there you go, my look at Transformers Powercore Combiner Searchlight with Backwind, or Backwind, or whatever you want to call him. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.